Hello! I'm going to set up my iPad. I know it takes a few minutes to show up. Of course, I think it's taking longer today. I can't get it to come up. I don't know why. Oh, hi, Joyce. Okay, it must be in the feed. Why won't it come up on my iPad? Oh, darn. I'm going to go out and come back in. Let me see if that works. Post. No, it's not coming up. Oh, no, darn it. Every once in a while it won't work. I don't know why. It won't, but it doesn't. I'm still playing with it, trying to get it to come up. Hi, Kim, you made it in. I think there are a lot that probably are. I am not. All right, I can't get it to come up. Okay, there it is. I don't know why it was where it was. It was really strange. I couldn't, oh, I know why, because I pinned a post at the top. Hi, Barb. There's a learning curve with everything. I'm glad you made it in, Kim. I know it's pretty early where you are, but I'm glad you joined us. I'm going to take one card today and do 3 different styles with it. I guess I should say one stamp set, but it just kind of sticks, the one card, 3 styles. So I hope everybody's having a great 4th of July. If you have any plans, please make sure you're staying safe. I know there's a lot of people out there that are not wearing masks and they're objecting to wearing the mask. They say it's their right and they don't have to, and that's fine. But you do your thing, I'll do mine. So I won't go. Oh, that's not too bad. I thought it was earlier than that. So I guess it's not too bad then, Kim. It's a beautiful sunny day here, hot. We walked this morning and it was so hot. It's nice. It's supposed to rain maybe tomorrow, Monday or so, and then it'll cool off a little bit. But if it just gets rid of the humidity, the heat doesn't bother me. It's the humidity that drains you. I spent yesterday in my studio. I have a little bit more to do on my table, and then it'll be done and I can put it away, and then that'll stop me from piling everything up over there. And then I spent a lot of time yesterday designing. I needed to play. I hadn't played in several days because I was busy with cleaning or organizing, mainly cleaning, because I took a day and cleaned my studio all the way around and got it more organized. So it looks so much better. I kind of fallen into a bad routine with not having classes here. So I got it all cleaned up and I've got some things organized. So I'm feeling pretty good about things. I still have a couple more things downstairs I can bring up that my sister had to organize mine even a little bit more. Hey, Betty Ann, you made it. So I'm getting there slowly but surely, but I haven't been pushing myself. I've been taking it easy. I think I pushed myself a lot. Ooh, cold. I don't know if, well, depends on how cold or cool you say it is. I run around the house all the time with a long sleeve shirt on because I'm always cold, but that's okay. It's me. If I go in the stores, I usually have a sweatshirt on because they always keep it so cold. I have to run to the store after this. I ran out of dog food and it's not supposed to be here till Tuesday. So I'm gonna go buy some chicken and boil some chicken up for Bijou so she has something to eat. She wasn't real thrilled with me. She got a little tiny bit this morning, so after I boil the chicken, I'll give her a little bit more. She'll be happy then. And she'll be happy to have chicken for a few days. So I am loving playing with this designer series paper that's in my class. I have lots of tips and tricks for today's cards. So grab your beverage. If you got any crafty friends, make sure you send them a link and get them in here, and let's get started. So I'm going to put my drink down so I don't spill it, and I put it over there, not on my work area. So let me get this turned around. All right. There we go. Give me a minute. I'll get this set up, and I'll turn on my lights. I have to turn the lights off or I get glare on my glasses. So let's see. Let me see. I think I'm pretty good. Might be a little crooked. Let's try and see. We'll see how that goes while that's setting up. I wanted to talk to you about my newest online class. It's called Tasteful Creations. And I wanted to share with you what you get as part of that class. So option 1 is the product share. And in that, you get a half a package of this gorgeous DSP. If you don't want a whole package, this is a great way to get just a piece to play with. I end up having tons of DSP left over at the end of the year. Although I haven't been lately. I've been using it up, so that's pretty good. But I love this. It's double-sided, and there's a variety of patterns, and it goes from like the spring through the summer, into the fall, and even into the winter down here. So, I mean, it is truly flowers for every season. So last week I used the tulips. This week I'm using, or am I using the tulips this week? No, I'm using the tulips this week. So sorry about that. So I'm using the tulips today. I must have used the tulips on another one. So you get this half a package of this DSP, which is gorgeous. You also get a whole package of the champagne rhinestones, and these colors go very well with this paper. And then the other thing in my share is I didn't think you guys would need any ribbons, so I included the Tasteful Textures embossing folder. I have used this so much. It's like the subtle. It gives a little bit of a background, and I love it. I think it's going to be, that and my subtle are going to be my go-to embossing folders for just a nice background. If you choose option 2, you get the Tasteful Touches stamp set and the Tasteful Labels dies. Now, the dies do not cut out any of the images. I've been fussy cutting them, but what they are is label dies. And I have a card later this week that I'm sharing, and I use one of these and made a frame, which was really fun. And then the sentiments go inside those frames. So, you know, this one, and I used this one. I didn't know what this one was going to look like. It was really cute. It's got little dots on it, around it. It was different, but cute. So that would be option 2, which is all of the product plus the stamp set and the dies. And of course, if you already have the stamp set and the dies, then you can get just option 3 because you got all the products, and it's just the tutorial. So you can then take your supplies and make your cards. So with that, I wanted to share with you what I'm using in today's class. I am using, or today's video I should say, I am using Tasteful Touches, and I'm specifically using this branch. My sentiment came from Forever Fern, hello. I wanted just a simple, general sentiment. So you can use any sentiment you have on there, because you can even use a bigger one. But I wanted just a simple one, so I chose that one. And then one of my cards does use the Tasteful Textures embossing folder. I am using Magenta Madness and Just Jade ink on today's cards, and I'm using some of the 2020-2022 in color enamel dots. I love these things. As you can see, I've been using some of the colors, some of them not as much, but I've been using them a lot. They're fun to play with. So let's get started. And I got a few hints for you today. Oh, I forgot to tell you, the other thing I'm using is I'm using the Tulip Builder Punch. I thought it would be fun to play with that. So with that, here is my first card. All right, clean and simple. And it just uses a Whisper White card base, and that's 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And I'm gonna fold it. Use my bone folder. If you don't have a bone folder, make sure you order one. It really makes your card lay nice and crisp. Now, the next thing I did was I used a scrap of Magenta Madness and Just Jade, and I did my tulip. And I'm going to take my tulip, and I'm going to put my tulip together. And then here's the key. There's that one. When you punch out the two of these, one side goes on up top, and then you have to flip the other side over. So make sure you keep that in mind when you go to put it down, because you'll put your glue dot on and it won't work. It won't fit on there. So I'm going to take and I'm going to attach my leaves to my tulip. All right. Like so, and my tulip's ready. Now my tulip is going to go right about there on my card. And then we're going to do some masking. I have a hint for you. How many of you use a Post-it note to mask? I have used them, but you know what? I have found something better. This was not my idea. I saw it from Jennifer McGuire. Removable ID labels. They're big, it's sheets, and it's repositionable. So once you stick it down, you can then pull it back up. So I used one of the sheets, and I punched out the flower and the 2 leaves. And this leaf you have to attach from the back, because remember, it punches that one way. And then you take your label, all right, and this one I'm going to have to reposition because and that's the beauty of this. You stick this down, see now, because this one went out further, I can pull it off. And you want to make sure that it's inside your, how expensive? I don't think it was that expensive, Kim. I don't know if I got this at Walmart. I think I did. I think I got it at Walmart. And Walmart, you know, $8 max, if that much. All right, now you're going to take your Just Jade ink and your leaves, and you're going to stamp. And I'm going to tell you a couple of hints here. When you stamp your leaves, you want to make sure you push a little harder down around where your image or your paper is, so that it then kind of gets closer to it. You kind of almost rock it back and forth. All right. And then we're going to take and we're going to stamp this one over here. And there you have it. It's stamped. I'm just going to move that aside. And now you need your sentiment. And you can add more of this if you want. I tend to try to add a little bit, and I want to make sure my card is straight. Now, another hint. when you get your, this one is from Forever Fern. When you get this, look at your sentiment. There's a lot of space at the bottom, and this edge is not straight. It kind of waves a little bit. The top is straight. So keep that in mind when you're putting it down, trying to get it straight. Keep your top edge straight, and you get a straight stamp. So there's the first card. Quick and easy, clean and simple. But suppose you want to stamp it up. All right, so here we go. I added some of that Designer Series paper. And I used the tulips, the tulip one, because of the tulip punch. That's what inspired me with this one. So let's put this one over here. I changed my background, and this time I'm using the Magenta Madness. And I know, Kim, this isn't your favorite color, so you could use the green, you could use the blue, whatever. Oh, look at this. I got ink on me. Hold on. Let me find my towel. Good thing that's being covered up. I don't know how. Oh, I know how it happened. I hit it. It's open. I never leave them open for that very reason. Darn, darn, darn. Okay. Okay, so there's that. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take this piece, which is the Whisper White, which is 4 by 5 1/4, and we're going to add it to this. Now, I also wanted to tell you, I don't know if you watched my video the other day. All right, mine is messed up. It got twisted. I'm not certain which way it goes. I think it's supposed to come off this way, but it's not working, so I got to play with it some more. So anyway, I thought I had it fixed, but it's not. I took it apart. What happened with mine is it folded over on itself. And so consequently, you know, it's sticking. So I don't know which way this is supposed to go. So I got to play with it some more and see. So I'll go back to the glue. I was hoping, and I may have gotten a defective one. If I can't get it straight, I'll contact Stampin' Up! And say, there's a problem. Mine folded over on itself and it's not working. All right, good thing I'm hiding most of that green that I got all over it. All right, so you put that piece down. Now you're going to take your green and your leaves, and you want this piece in the center, and you're using this to see, because you have to be careful that where you stamp this, the bottom of your stems does not go past the paper. You don't want it to see. So I stamped that one straight up, and when I turned this one to get more over that way, I stamped it at an angle and kept that piece inside. So I know that this one is inside that paper. All right, and then this one I did like that. So I added just some leaves, general leaves. Next thing I want to do is I want to take, and I'm going to add I got lots of tips for you today, ladies. I don't know about you, but I can use all the tips I can get. So I'm going to put this on here, keeping it straight. And I wanted to make sure that my tips were hidden. Now this one could have gone down further, but that's okay. Now I have my pieces that I had punched, so I'm going to use my glue dots. No, it goes this way. So this one goes over here, and this one goes over here. All right, so you got to kind of figure out where they go before you put your glue dot on, or you put your glue dot on the wrong spot. Let me move this off of here so I don't accidentally glue it to my project. Put that out there. Then I'm going to take this one. Oops, wait a minute, I put that on the wrong spot. Okay, I'll pull it off. Put it on the wrong side. I put it here. I'll just carefully pull it off. I love it when you can do that. Don't you love it when I make the mistakes and say, oh, she did it. All right. This, you don't have to worry about masking because it's popped up and the paper hides the masking. And I got a defective bunch of dimensionals too. They all seem to want to, the back comes off before it comes off of the paper. Don't know what was going on with that, but that's okay. At least they work. All right, got it. All right, now I've got my tulip and I'm going to put it on just below the DSP, and then I'm going to go to my sentiment and I'm going to put my sentiment at the top because we've got a lot going on down here. So I'm going to move my sentiment up to the top. Hopefully that's straight, and stamp it up there. I could have come down a little bit more. So there is a stepped up version. All right. How about stepping it up further? Check this one out. Same basic layout, but I added some enamel dots and I embossed the background. And I'm going to show you some hints with the embossing folder. All right, so our card base is still the Mambo. I put Melon Mambo, and it's Magenta Madness. Goodness gracious, how did I manage to do that? Probably because I was looking at it downstairs and it didn't look so bright. When you put it in daylight, it does. Now the next thing we need to do is we need to stamp our image, because if not, when you go to stamp it, you're going to have some funky stamping. So always stamp before you emboss. So again, I'm using my paper for an idea. Move that one before I... All right, and then I'm gonna stamp another one. I'm gonna come down further on this. Oops, I missed the tip. That's all right. You know what you can do with that? Let me show you. I'm gonna take the marker, and there's a little bit of an outline, and I'm using the writing end, and I'm just filling it in. And no one will know but us, so don't tell. All right, let me get rid of the green so I don't put my finger on it anymore. I'll move the pink over here. All right, now for the embossing, and I'm gonna have to pull my Big Shot in to do this. Did you guys know that this line at the bottom of the embossing folders is so you can put your paper in and get it in there straight? I love it. Of course, then there's sometimes I can't get it to stay closed when I'm putting it in there, so I put this down on my my machine, and I line this up. You can't see it, but I can, and then close it up. But let me show you something. I know many of you have the older Big Shot, and with the new dies, they're a little bit different, or embossing folders. We still have the regular size and then the real thick ones. These are a little bit different than our previous dies. So let me show you how I've worked around that. If you have the old plate, which I do, all your pieces, your tabs were attached. I took mine and took them off. All right, so I just took them off. There's another strip somewhere that I have. And so I have my pieces separate. If I'm using one of the regular embossing folders, I use tab 2. I put it at the bottom, put my plate on there. I'm looking to make sure it's straight. Put my embossing folder down. Add one clear plate on the top and roll it through. And you get, I can never open these up. You get a nice, it's nicely embossed. If it is a thicker embossing folder, you will use tab 1, your plate, put your embossing folder down and your clear plate on top and run it through. The only thing you have to remember is this piece is on the bottom, so make sure when you put the tab down that that piece, this is the only one, that this piece is at the back end and that it's up so that it doesn't get caught inside on the rollers. I have been doing this many, many months and it's always worked. So if you have the old one, there you go. A hint for you. All right, now we've got our piece done, and I was hoping that this would work because I was thinking this would stick down, but I couldn't get it to work, so I'm going to use my tear-in tape. I have never had success with glue snail before when we had it. I've always used tear-in tape because I want to make sure it sticks down. So I put tear-in tape all around the edges. So what do you think of the hints I've given you so far, ladies? Good ideas? Give me some thumbs up. Some smiley faces. Kim, if you use 2, it's too thick. It won't go through. These are our new embossing plates. They're not up, and you know what? I didn't stamp my sentiment, so we're going to find out what it looks like. I've tried that. 2 clear plates is too much. You have to kind of play with it and find what works for your machine. Most of the people that I've suggested this to haven't had any issues with it, but 2 clear plates, it's too thick. You're forcing it through. If you look at, let me see. If you look at the thickness, I don't know. I'm going to move that before it sticks. This is pretty thick. This is real thin, so it's like a shim. Number 2, it's not as thick as your clear plate. You're quite welcome, Kim. I just am always looking for what can I do with what I already have. I have 3 big shots, so it's like I'm not gonna. And depending on your machine, you may not have to make any adjustments. Mine I did because each machine is calibrated different. Now you're going to see what happens. Since I forgot to stamp the hello, you're going to see what happens when you try to stamp on embossing. It's going to be funky. It's just not as crisp. as if you stamped beforehand. So remember to stamp that beforehand. I forgot. Okay, now we're going to add our DSP, and see, I used the tulip one, so I could use the tulip punch. And because we're sticking it to an embossed piece, I'm going to take and I'm going to add some more tear and tape. This is an easy layout. Can be done for a variety of different things. Any DSP, any stamp set that you have would work. If you've got leaf stamps and a flower. All right, come on. There we go. And I'm going to get this side. Make sure you burnish these ends or the whole thing comes up. I've done that a couple of times. I'm not buying the new one either. There's nothing wrong with my machines. And I'll be honest with you, if anything happens to the 3 of these that I have, I'm going electric. Then I don't have to crank. Hi, Tina. Okay, so here's our 2. And I've got to, whoop, that one didn't punch real good at the bottom. Let me trim it up a little. I have an extra piece. I must have been too close to the edge. Did you know that that's what happens? If you don't get a clear punch, you're too close to the edge. There's that. And there's that. I'm going to put this. Okay. I don't think it really matters. All right. Here we go. I'm trying to decide. All right. I'm going to put this down here and have it go a little bit of ways away. And I'm going to add the other one. All right, and I've got a little piece showing, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take my snips, cut it off. Nobody will ever know. And now it's time for dimensionals. So I'm going to put a dimensional on the back of each spot and one at the bottom. And I'm going to take and remove my backs. All right, there we go. Kim, which brand does she have? I've seen several electric ones. I've seen several out there. I want a decent one. Okay. I'm going to pull again my tulip down, and that's crooked. Oh my goodness. Come on. Come up. There we go. Make sure you don't press down hard until you check and make sure it, thanks, it's straight, it's not crooked. And then to step it up, I'm adding some of the enamel dots. And I'm just going to sprinkle them on. And now you know the hint about enamel dots, right? Always, if you're using, oh, and here's a hint with this. Bend it back and pick it up. Always work in odd numbers. Oh, okay. Thanks, Kim. You want to make sure odd numbers are pleasing to the eye. So when you add embellishments and all, add odd numbers. All right. Let me pull in the other ones so that you can see how we went and how we stepped it up. So we went from clean and simple to a stepped up version to a stepped up wow. I love doing these kinds of things and showing you. This is a great way to use your supplies. I mean, sometimes you have very little time, so you need something clean and simple and quick. So there you go. Then maybe you have a little bit more time, so you spend a little bit more time. And then maybe you got all day long and you really want to create a wow card. So there you go. If you like today's cards, I'll be happy to send you the card kit for free when you place a $35 product order by next Thursday, July the 9th, using the host code SHFMGER3. Got to use that host code. If you're wondering what supplies I used, about 11:30 today, I have a link going up, and it will have each of the supplies that I used in there, and it's a different link. So there's a link for the Clean and Simple, link for the Stepped Up, and a link for the Stepped Up Wow card. If you click on that link, it takes you to my page, and I have created a shopping cart, and all the items that were used for that card are listed right there. So you don't have to go looking. It's very easy for you to place that order and get this card kit. If you're still not certain how to do it, send me a message. I'll be glad to help you place your order. Oh, thanks, Kim. I know, I can't believe it's been 15 years. Kim and I, for those of you who don't know, Kim and I actually joined on the same day in the same year for Stampin' Up. Kim lives in Salt Lake City. I, at the time, was in Maryland. So the first convention I went to, she and I ran into each other, and we started talking, and we couldn't believe we'd signed up on the same day and everything else. And we've been friends since then. If I go out to convention, if it's in Salt Lake City, we always link up. That's about the only time we see each other because of where we live. But we keep in touch and everything. So you never know who you're going to run into or anything. So July the 7th was the day that both of us signed up together 15 years ago. I like the third card too. This one's not bad, but I just like the texture on this. So there you go, ladies. One card, 3 styles. All right, I'm going to get ready and flip this around. Oh, that's right. It was Kim's first convention and my first convention. See, there were so many things that were similar with this. It was really funny. Thanks, Tina. I love sharing and giving you guys ideas and all of that. And get my thing and get my drink because I've been talking a lot. So, does everybody have plans for today? I am not, but I don't have any really. I'm going to be playing and designing, but Barb, who lives next door, they're doing a cookout. So I'm still self-quarantining since I was in Maryland. So they're doing hamburgers and hot dogs. So they're just going to cook mine and I'll go get them and come back home and eat. So I have one more week and then we can get together and eat. Until I have to go back to Maryland again. I hope it's not anytime soon, but I have to contact my daughter to see. So I'm going to turn my lights off because I got glare on my glasses. I like the texture too, Kim. Like I said, I love that embossing folder. I didn't think I would when I saw it in the catalog, but then I started to see cards with it, and it's really, really nice. Yep, just one more week, Barb. I'm so excited. It's like the two of us will get together. We'll spend the day playing cards or doing something when we can finally get together. So, all right, ladies, if you're getting together or doing anything for the 4th, make sure to be safe. Keep your distance, wear your mask, wash your hands. I want to see you on Monday at noon for lunchtime with Robbie. And I have an idea I saw a couple of weeks ago. I got to go back and see if I can find it that I want to share with you. So cross your fingers I can find it fairly easy because I have to make the cards soon. It's the Textile Touches I think is what it's called. No, it's Tasteful Textile. Tasteful Touches is the stamp set. Tasteful Textile. I love it. It's one of the new ones. It's part of the, oh, I think it's with the Forever Fern series or not, but I always look in the back. It's easier. All right, ladies, I'm going to get ready and go so I can go to the grocery store and get some chicken for my puppy. And I will see you on Monday. Have a great weekend. Oh, I love the hearts. Thanks, guys. See you on Monday. Bye.